2016 obviously was a very difficult year for many reasons in terms of culture and politics, but I think that the real concern about 2016 is what it's opened the door to in 2017. Obviously there's so much about fake news right now, and there was so much all of this about the post-truth society and all of this, and people just kind of, I don't know if this is just a passing moment in our time or if it's just going to carry on. But I think in the end, what education can do is to help people practice the skills that they need to start really kind of thinking about the arguments that are being made and also to be making their own. In LSE 100, obviously, critical thinking is one of the basic things that we're teaching. We're trying to introduce students to thinking in different ways and think about the way that knowledge is produced and the ways that, the relationship between theory and evidence and explanation, and get people to move beyond their comfort zone and be able to kind of understand when people come quite legitimately from a very different perspective, maybe because they're using different evidence or different methods and they come to a different conclusion. But people need to understand that and really understand the boundaries of their own knowledge. Education is important for many different reasons. Obviously, I think it's something that it's a privilege. It's also something that we should not take for granted, and we need to think very hard about whether we're learning or teaching. I think right now, in the context of the current political climate, I think I've been thinking a little bit differently about what education means and how important some of the skills that we emphasize throughout LSE, not just LSE 100, but some of these skills like critical thinking, being able to make a persuasive evidence-based argument. With technology, we can start to use the resources that we have differently. So we don't even necessarily need more resources, although those are always nice, but you can actually allocate your time differently. You can spend time differently with students. Students can spend more time outside of the classroom doing some of the work that you might do, say, in a lecture hall. You can do that kind of in your own time and then have more time face-to-face with your professor or teacher. The risk, I think, of the educational system in the UK and the way that it's been done traditionally is that students perhaps aren't reading broadly enough, actually. I mean, especially more recently, students are being encouraged to specialize from such an early age. And I think when you do that, there's a real trade-off. It's great because you become a specialist in your area, but if you're just becoming a specialist without kind of broadening your horizons, first of all, you're going to miss out on an awful lot of interesting information that you would enjoy and different areas that you would probably want to get to know better. But second of all, I think you're really undermining your own ability to really engage with the world.